It appears as though things are not looking really great for Wendy Williams. And after all the wreck she has experienced, she is presently dealing with one more issue. As insiders report, Wendy is as of now trapped in the emergency clinic, and they are not permitting her to leave the office. While in the midst of these disputable hypotheses about Wendy's condition, her child, Kevin at long last chosen to end the quiet and make sense of what is genuinely occurring with his mom, and why she can't recuperate. And folks, it seems as though the circumstance is far and away more terrible than we had expected. So how about we dive into subtleties of this story? Greetings everybody, and welcome back to Celeb Live channel. So last week, Wendy Williams' well-being alarm hit the titles once more, and the justification for why she was confessed to a clinical office was not uncovered. Fans conjectured that her shabby group truly drove her into work for monetary profit, and others were saying that Wendy was furtively in recovery. The idea of her hospitalization has never unveiled, and as her rep expressed, the hypotheses of the television diva being in a miserable condition were overstated. And he added that Wendy had been truly released from the medical clinic a few days prior, as the previous Wendy Williams show have marketing specialists told Page 6. Solely I can affirm that Wendy Williams isn't in that frame of mind. As detailed, I can likewise affirm she isn't in that frame of mind, as revealed like it was whenever this person first has at any point taken care of the general population with lies. It appears as though he's spreading more bogus data about Wendy than the sensationalist newspapers. Like with that story that Wendy's digital broadcast is coming out before long. Well, up to this point, his assertions were not really affirmed or ended up being valid. And evidently Wendy's child, Kevin is weary of the games Wendy's group is playing with her psyche and well-being, so he chose to approach and save his mother from these guilty parties, as it was as of late uncovered by the Sun. Little Kev hasn't seen his mom for close to 12 months after she left recovery, as one source made sense of. As of not long ago, Kevin was even uninformed that his mom was recording another unscripted TV drama about her life. This time, he accepted that she was recuperating and refocusing with her collectedness. The source said Kevin isn't in correspondence with his mom. Wendy didn't see little Kevin when she was in Florida in April. As it turned out, little Kev didn't actually feel that his mother required saving once more, and was in the middle of carrying on with his life, trusting that every one of Wendy's concerns and sufferings were gone, and keeping in mind that Wendy wasn't calling him. It is possible that he didn't have any idea how grave the circumstance was until one insider spilled the subtleties, saying he's doing all around well and is attempting to keep on track and is continuing on with his own personal business. He is back in school. He would have graduated as of now in the event that he didn't take off to deal with her last year. And presently Kevin's life is flipped around again on the grounds that he figured out how his mother's group was tricking her and constraining her to return to work, which in the end prompted her hospitalization. Obviously, Wendy's group was in any event attempting to get Kevin far from his mother, knowing how he would respond to them taking advantage of her and driving the debilitated television diva into the spotlight. It appears as though Wendy's group and rep affect her, and they figured out how to alienate her main child and cut all association between them. As the source made sense of, Kevin figured out reality, coincidentally, on the grounds that one individual from her creation group erroneously reached Kevin's lawyer. The source said she additionally didn't call him when she was coming, yet somebody underway called Kevin's lawyer about the narrative, and that was whenever he first caught wind of her shooting. Normally, little Kev was shocked to catch wind of narrative and unscripted TV drama in light, hopefully not by mistake, that his mother was never going to be back in a spotlight. And presently his eyes are opened, and he is furious that the set of experiences will rehash the same thing. The worries about the television diva's prosperity developed more after she needed to drop her support in the talking gig last moment and lose $25,000 of pay that she might have gotten for her discourse As it was expressed by the media, Wendy was basically not all around Doc to make that big appearance. And she was hurried to the clinic 2 times in the days, paving the way to the occasion clearly. When Kevinger learned about all that, he demanded his mom remaining in the clinic as long as it required until she recuperated totally. And it's his approach to getting his wiped-out mother far from her group by what it looks Wendy can't, as expected, convey. Not to mention give the entire discourse before a major group, yet her group wasn't in any event. Pondering her capacity to proceed, as one source uncovered Wendy's capacity to perform has been rough, best case scenario. She can assemble a sentence one day, yet not the following grade. It seems like little Kev might pursue his mother's savage group, who were unquestionably taking advantage of her and attempting to just barely get out more pay on her name by raising the hell television diva, partake in however many ventures as could be allowed. But regardless of various bits of gossip about the web recording, unscripted TV drama, or other secretive tasks, we haven't seen a solitary delivery yet, which brings up a ton of issues about what Wendy's group is truly attempting to accomplish. As one fan remarked, it's wrecked that they're attempting to exhaust Wendy. She ought to remain resting until she improves. And someone else added, Wendy hasn't been looking great. She really wants to remain in the clinic for quite a while. And in the event that you have been following Wendy's life over the most recent couple of months, you ought to have seen what a horrendous state she was in. And despite the fact that she attempted to look blissful and grin, individuals who saw her in New York drinking and pub crawling were expressing that it was difficult to see the television in such a condition. And they were saying that she was scarcely understanding what was happening. Evidently, without her child's presence, she rushed to fall under the terrible impact again. That is the reason she began drinking, even following a while in recovery. While Kevinger was essentially uninformed about all that his mother was going through, other relatives agreed with Wendy's position and were freely hammering her group for double dealing. And I surmise what is happening doesn't stand out. Even her alienated sibling Tommy approached and talked about Wendy's horrendous state when she was visiting him in Florida. In April, everything was quieted, and the television jumper kept dealing with her unscripted TV drama in spite of her chronic frailty. Tony was quick to be vocal about Wendy's state, and he guaranteed that she was not in that frame of mind of brain in the most natural-sounding way for him. This time individuals have been kicking her around she can't be considering on the grounds that she can't thoroughly consider, so others are thoroughly considering things for her. I surmise the relatives chose to go about as a unified front and save Wendy from deteriorating this bustling timetable and continuous flying, starting with one state, then on to the next. To get sufficient film for the show was tedious, for the previous television host. And that is the reason she wanted dire clinical help. Well, Kevinger previously forfeited his own life to be close to his mother before, and needed to take a whole year from his school to show up for her as she was going through a chaotic separation from her ex. And presently he considers his mother's group answerable for her present status and accepts that she wants to remain under the clinical perception until she wakes up and begin to act sanely and comprehend what's happening, as Kevin honestly thinks that working could disturb his mother's